Well, I'm going to try to do a quick rundown of the garden for you, a quick update. It's pretty windy out there today. Things have sure changed temperature wise. Here it is the 15th of June. We've got a northeast wind blowing probably solid 25 today. It's been that way for a couple of days. Temperatures in the low 70s. Supposed to get into the upper 70s today, but with this wind blowing, especially out of the direction that it is, it certainly isn't going to feel that warm. But it's a beautiful sunny day, so that's good anyway. Quick look at the compost tea system. I dumped out that batch that was growing the white gooey stuff in it, and just started this other batch. So I'm getting ready to, as soon as I do this update, I'm going to dilute that into those 3 buckets, and then get another one going in that one, another batch going in that one, just like by my other video, so I can start getting compost tea back on the garden. Things are growing good. Things look really nice. You can see that corn. Those stakes are about 6 foot high, so some of that corn's almost 6 foot high. You can see that the ones that came up the first time are tasseling. And I don't know anything about corn, but I thought by the time it tasseled that it already had ears on it, but I don't see any ears. But I'm guessing that that's what that is. That's an ear coming out on the corn right there. This is one of the ones that's tasseling. There was another one over here somewhere, I think, that showed it a little bit better. Yeah, this one here is tasseling, and it's got this little offshoot coming off of it that I guess is an ear of corn. But I don't know. I don't know anything about corn. It's tasseling anyway, but I don't see any silks to catch the tassels, catch the pollen. But what do I know? Sweet potato bed. This thing, well, weeds have overtaken it too, but this thing is crammed full of sweet potato vines. This is that 4x8 bed. I think it was 18 potato slips or sweet potato slips, and every day I'm having to take the vines and redirect them back into the bed because they're growing all over into the corn over there. They're coming this way. They're just all over the place. Let's see, this is that bed. That's my okra, and it's putting out, some of them are putting out flower buds. Let's look at, yeah, there we go. So we're gonna have okra blooming probably any day. So the okra's doing great. The peanuts down this side, let's see if I can find one. Look, there we go. Peanuts are blooming a little bit here and there. There's peanut blooming in there, peanut blooming in there. So they're, you know, they all look good. They're growing good. What's in here? This is that colored beets, that gourmet blend of colored beets. I haven't really dug down yet to see if they're forming. They got little beets on them. This is the bull's blood beets, grown mainly for the tops. Although they do have little beets on them. I haven't picked any beet greens and ate them, so apparently that's what they're grown for, though. Like I said, these peanuts look great. Really happy with those so far. This is the bright light Swiss chard down on this end, and it's really growing good. Look at that white. The white ones seem to be the most prolific so far. We've picked it a couple of times and ate it. We've got to figure out the best way to cook it. Zucchini, and the plants look great. Again, it's still, sorry about the wind, it's still the same problem with pollinating. You know, I'm having to hand pollinate, but it seems to be working. We have picked some zucchini, so I'm gonna try to turn around and keep my back to the wind. These are those Japanese eggplants. I pick them young, so that one's ready to be picked right there. I've picked 6 or 7 of them already this year, so they're doing their thing. And right beside them are those black beauties, and I don't, oh, there's one. There's my first black beauty eggplant. That's cool. Peppers, these are the orange bells, red bell, no, that's not red. What's these? Yeah, red. This one's red.
This one I can't see because of the weeds are blocking my tag. Jalapenos, look at that one's probably ready to pick, I guess. That'll be my first jalapeno. But the plant's loaded. If you can see them down in there, even the little plants, they're just loaded. And all the peppers are looking good. The Hungarian wax, I'll wait for that to get a little more yellow before I pick it. These are the beans that I filled this bed in with. The beans over here, the purple beans, we've picked them several times. The yellow beans, we've picked them several times. The green beans, they're setting, so they're waiting for their first picking. The bush sugar baby watermelons, they're growing great. Get that grass out of there. They're growing really good. Yellow squash, same deal, having to hand pollinate. I mean, you can see, look at all the little squashes in there. All the female squash flowers, and they're just not setting. I'm having to hand pollinate. Nothing's coming and pollinating the things. So a little frustrating, but we're getting some. Detroit dark red beets. Only a few of them are really doing anything. I've pulled up the broccoli. I've pulled up the most all the lettuce. I've still got this red sales growing. It never has gotten big enough really to eat. Cabbage is still going, and it's heading up. It's still growing. Rutabagas. Look at that rutabaga right there. I don't know if you can see that right there. That's my hand, so you can see how big it is. Look at that one. That one's ready to go. It's just barely sitting in the ground. The taproot's the only thing holding it in there. Most of the yellow onions have died. Most all of those yellow onions have died. The only ones that are still growing are these reds, and I'm not sure how well they're growing. They don't look great, but I think it's soil in this box over here. Although the red Swiss chard seems to like it, and the rutabaga seem to like it, you know. But I don't think the onions liked it. The garlic apparently didn't like it. The carrots are looking good. Tops are growing really great. I don't feel much of a carrot down there. Potatoes, I think the potatoes are probably on their way out now. So we'll probably be digging potatoes here in another week or so. I'll wait for all of it to die off and before I dump them out and show you those. Pole beans. This is the first planting of pole beans. These plants don't look so great, but I mean, they've grown up to the top. They're blooming. They're making beans, as you can see. So the second planting of pole beans looks much better, just plant-wise. They're just, I think, starting to bloom, maybe a couple of them, because they're a couple of weeks behind those first ones. Cucumbers haven't grown a whole lot. I did get them trellised up, and hopefully I put them up with bread ties on the fence. So hopefully they'll start grabbing on and growing up themselves. And I did see this the other day. It's my first cucumber. So I'll give that obviously a little while longer to grow. But there's a lot of little cucumbers. Same deal, you know, I don't know that they're getting pollinated very well, because look at this thing is loaded. Those are all male flowers there, but this thing is loaded with flowers. Look at the flowers on these cucumbers. I mean, they are just, if you can see them, they are just loaded with flowers. I would certainly think I'd have a lot more cucumbers hanging than what I do. So I don't know what's going on with pollinating this year. I mean, I don't see any bees in the garden during the day. You know, I don't see anything flying around here during the day. So I'm not sure what's going on. Cantaloupes, got them trellised up. They're blooming. Oh, look at that, a bee. I said that, and that's the first one I've seen. Look at him. He's doing his thing in there. He's got pollen all over his legs. So, all right, good. Well, that's the first bee I've seen in a long time. I guess I just needed to come out here and talk about them. But the cantaloupes are blooming. They're doing really good. I haven't seen any fruit set yet, but they are doing a lot of blooming. So there you go. I did pick today before I shot this. Let's see, I've got a bowl full of purple beans. There's some snow peas, squash. That one got a little away from me. Got a little big. But there's a half dozen squash, some yellow beans, and there's purple beans down in the bottom of the bowl. So there's just a quick overview. I'm going to go dump compost tea on the garden, and then I'll go upstairs and show you the tomato plants. Okay guys, here's a real quick look at the tomatoes. This is the grape tomato. You can see it's well up out of the cage. Nice clusters of fruit set on it. Chocolate cherry, way up out of the cage. I've got to do something to support this a little better because it's just falling over into the deck. Beautiful clusters of fruit. There's 8 in that cluster and 8 in that cluster, so I guess it must be what it sets. So let's see, what do we got here? The yellow pear, it's looking great. Beautiful clusters of fruit. Several beautiful clusters of fruit. This will probably, where are we at there? There we go. This will probably be the first ripe cherry tomatoes, I'm guessing. These were the first ones that set. Lemon boys. There's some fruit set in there. Growing really good. They all look great. The black crim. This is probably the fullest one so far. It's got 1 tomato on it. It hasn't set a whole lot. It's got 1 in there though. The Roma. Let me turn my drip off. I forgot I had it running still. The Roma. This is the one that I didn't cut the tip out. And you can see beautiful, nice cluster of fruit. And that one just, it hasn't suckered yet. I must have cut all the suckers off, so it's not going to sucker again. I was hoping it would sucker and I could let one of them go as a growth tip, but we'll see. Pink brandywine. Uh-oh, looks like the growth tip broke off of that one. Yep. In the wind, beating on this cage. So we'll have to get a sucker to grow up out of that one. Let's see, pink brandywine, there's a tomato. What do we got here? Parks Whopper. Parks Whopper. Look how thick. I know I talk about it every time, but look how thick that stem is. I mean, that's my thumb. You know, it's thicker than my thumb. It's got a couple little tomatoes. It had several the other day. I had to throw them all off because they had blossom end rot. So I'm not sure what's going on there. The next 4 are all big boys. And I don't think that one's got anything. I think it had blossom end rot too. But the same deal. Look at the stem. I mean, it's like a small tree. The stem is so thick on these things this year. There's a big boy with some tomatoes on it. And the next 2 have tomatoes on it too. So, and right there. So there you go. Quick look at the tomato deck. And I'll get this thing edited and uploaded. Alright, talk to you guys later.